What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we're jumping in with the weekly reset for Destiny 2, and it's the 30th of July, so we get the final major beat of Season of Opulence today with Solstice of Heroes, so we get the new armor, or at least the grind for the new armor begins, but also the new aerial zone activity, quests, rewards, and all of that good stuff. So we'll round up how to get started with the event, and we'll touch on other activities, rewards, vendors, bounties, and everything else you'd typically expect in the weekly reset. First up though, my friends over at Gamerlink have an awesome LFG and social platform for PC, Android and iOS. Destiny 2 and a bunch of other games are featured, and the LFG lets you look for other players, whether it's for a raid, PvP, or just the weekly challenges. But you can also use the clan tab to join or build your own persistent team of like-minded players, so if that sounds good to you, be sure to check out Gamerlink in the description box below. We're going to touch on reset stuff in just a moment, but briefly, today we got update 2.5.2, and of course that kicks off Solstice, but also it brings some changes to the game, including the nerf to the Lord of Wolves, some fixes to Tribute Hall, adjustments to the Iron Banner quests, which are going to make the quest for the armor a lot easier in the final Iron Banner of the season, and also things like the Heroic Menagerie, which will now drop a sword for the first time completion, and that includes the first completion after this update, so if you haven't got a sword yet, you're pretty much guaranteed to get it when you clear it, and there are a few other changes which you'll find in the patch notes. Now, I'll link those down below, and I'll be sure to cover any other major things later on today. With Solstice of Heroes though, we're getting the new armor, and if you can collect the full legendary set of this gear, you'll be able to unlock a free Armor 2.0 version of it when Shadowkeep launches. But now let's talk about how you actually get started with the event for this year. So starting out with Solstice of Heroes in the tower, of course we can see that everything is decorated, we've got the statue back, and Eva Levante is situated right here. So initially, you have to go visit her. She's going to have some dialogue and all of that good stuff right here. She'll give us the Solstice Drained Helmet, and then she'll give us another milestone to go and explore in the new aerial zone. And I think upon completing this, she's going to give us the rest of the green set, so we can actually start the process of doing all of those armor upgrades. She also does have the EV37 Void Streak, which is the sparrow you can get if you collect all of the Solstice legendary armor sets for all three classes, so do bear that in mind. Yeah, you'll kind of be directed to most of the stuff via milestones and everything like that. Of course, there is an Eververse milestone as well, but we'll check that inventory out in a couple of moments' time. But to get to the aerial zone, you'll actually find it in the tower director right here, and we can see that it's also listing Solar Day right there. And so if you put your solar subclass on and use solar weapons to generate solar orbs, you can collect them and become empowered. So as it says, doing that, Guardians emit a burning wave of energy, and this actually damages enemies that get too close to you, so that's a pretty fun thing to play with. Oh yeah, and you can also start the aerial zone from right here next to the statue. Now though, when it comes to Werner's weekly bounties this week, we do have the Imperial Bestiary. Of course, we have to get a bunch of kills on different enemy types right there. We've got Trial by Wits, and you have to complete 8 daily Gambit bounties. Then we have the Imperial Salute to defeat enemies with class abilities, of which you need 100, and then Spoils of War to collect treasures by defeating enemy combatants anywhere in the system. So those are the bounties for the week. Of course, the buffs and stuff like that have reset. And then for Werner's raid inventory, of course, we've got a bunch of armor pieces. You can probably spot them here if you are interested in them. You do have to complete Leviathan inside of this reset and use Callous tokens to pick them up. But we do have Alone as a God as the featured weapon at Werner this week. So maybe if it's one you want to collect from back in year 1, now is going to be a good time. For our menagerie modifiers today though, we do have Solar Singe, as well as Grounded and Brawler, that's for the normal mode. And then for Heroic, we've got Extinguish as always, with Match Game, Attrition, and Arc Singe, so have fun with those if you're jumping in. For our Reckoning modifiers though, we have Void Singe up, and then we've got Prism, as well as Heavyweight for the modifiers today. On the Director, we have our other weekly challenges though, and the flashpoint this week will be over on Titan, so of course we've got powerful gear, and additional powerful gear from the Heroic Adventures that'll come up. For Hawthorne's bounties though, we have the challenge called With Both Hands. Of course, this is for Crown of Sorrow, so that may be a new one for you. We've got To Each Their Own, and this is for the Scourge of the Past, and then Which is for the Last Wish. As always, be sure to visit the vendors and pick up some bounties. Right here, I would pick up Banshee's bounties. It would also probably be worth holding on to a bunch of completed bounties, as it looks like there is a step a little bit later on in the Solstice upgrades that will require some bounties to be turned in, so it may be useful. Definitely visit some vendors and just grab some easy ones for now. At Eververse though, she will give us a bounty for Solstice this year, and we can see there are a bunch of new items and things that we can take a look at in the Eververse inventory. I'm not going to go into absolutely everything, so otherwise the video will end up kind of long, but of course you can see a lot of the stuff that you probably want to check out in the Eververse inventory itself. Some pretty interesting stuff. And of course, if we go down here, we do have an events section where there are even more items for Solstice of Heroes this year, so Most of these requiring silver on this page in particular. So we'll take a quick look at the bright dust section at the bottom, and we can see there are a bunch of different items. So we've got things like the paperwork emote, maybe something you want to pick up right there. You can get this for bright dust. We also have the Jubilant shell, which is the very summery looking shell right here. Pretty cool stuff. We've got the Summertide Kite, which is a new ship. Maybe you want to try pick that one up. And then also we have the Micro Mini, which is the crazy kind of toy looking sparrow right here. So all of these up for bright dust at the moment. Definitely try and grab some if any of them look interesting. We've got the Hip Bump emote right here, which is a multiplayer emote. Pretty cool stuff. And we do have some ghost projections as well, so we'll take a very brief look at what they look like. There we go, some of the new Solstice things. And what do we got down here? This is pretty interesting. We've got some transmat effects, such as the Sandcastle effects. Wow, that is very, very over the top. What we got here? Beach ball effects. So yeah, a whole bunch of stuff. Kind of cool that we have a good amount of bright dust stuff available off the bat. Oh wow, I think that shader might be kind of tasty with certain armor sets. And we've got another one right here. This will pretty much summarize the preview. Some interesting shaders. Let us know what you think of this inventory, but no engram for this event, so everything is kind of direct purchase, either with bright dust or silver, and they're going to rotate pretty much everything that way in the store. So definitely keep your eyes open day over day and week over week as we see different stuff. For our Nightfalls this week, we do have a Garden World, we've got Tree of Probabilities, and then the Arms Dealer as well, so hopefully some slightly useful Nightfalls for you guys right there. And also for our modifiers in the Strike playlist, we've got Solar Singe, Grounded, and Brawler up for today. If you're jumping into the Escalation Protocol, the boss this week is Bok-Litter, which I'm pretty sure I never say that right, but all three of the weapons are going to be available, so if you need any of them, you have a random chance to get them when you take the boss down. For Dreaming City, we're back to week 2 of the curse, so Shattered Throne is up next week, but the Ascendant Challenge is the Sumerian Garrison. Once again, I think I'm saying that correctly, but it's accessed via the Chamber of Starlight, which is the lost sector in Rear Sylvia. So I'll run full gameplay of that in just a second if you want to check out the location, corrupted eggs, and all of that good stuff. But that does round up the main weekly reset for this week. I'll keep you posted on event stuff, any ways to get new gear, tips and guides, and all of the news as we roll forward to Shadowkeep. So stay tuned on the channel, hit that subscribe button if you are new around here, but if you've enjoyed the video, a rating is very much appreciated. Let me know if you're grinding for the Solstice armor this year, I think it's definitely worth it. And once again, check out my friends over at Gamerlink if you're after an awesome LFG and clan app that you can use on mobile and desktop platforms. But otherwise, thank you for tuning in, and I hope you guys have an awesome week.